St. Petersburg, welcome to WPLP.
Young man, let me tell you something right now. I come down here every year, and I've been coming down here for 24 years, and I in my entire life have never heard such an outrageous, outlandish person on a show.
Well, thank you.
You should be reported to the Chamber of Commerce or the FCC. I am going to write letters to the superiors.
Oh, sir, that's not necessary. Sir, that's not necessary. I have already received accommodations, or commendations, rather, from Chamber of Commerce.
I spent $800 to get down here. Alice is listening, and she is not very appreciative of what you've been doing here.
Who's not very appreciative? Who's not very appreciative?
She's very upset.
Who's upset, sir?
She's very upset.
Who is upset?
My wife is very upset, and so am I.
Well, why didn't she call?
I don't like this at all. You've got no business talking about us this way. We go to the vegetable markets almost every other day.
I'll bet you do.
I never squeeze fruit. I spent a lot of
How about
money.
vegetables, though?
I spent a lot of money down here. You have no right speaking of us in this matter. I had my car service here. I've had my car service here twice since I've been here.
I know, sir, and every time you come down here, about 40 of us have to have our cars serviced.
You've got no business talking about us in this manner. We are supporting you people. Don't you understand? If we quit coming down here, you'll be out of a job, sir. And I will report you, and I've heard about you before in the trailer parks. What's so funny about that, buddy?
You mean my fame has spread to the trailer parks?
What is so funny about living in a trailer park?
Nothing, sir.
I'm living in an Airstream right now, and I don't think it's very funny about the...
Wait a second. You come down here from where? Where was it, Iowa?
I've come all the way down here.
From Iowa?
Come all the way down
Dragging
here.
A trailer? Dragging a trailer? And you're not even staying in a motel. And you think you're supporting me?
I am supporting you and your service. You've got no business.
Sir, there aren't any.
Sir,
there aren't any Airstream factories in Tampa Bay.
I fought for you, and I come back to this country, and what do I have to listen to? Some young hippie such as yourself.
Well, sir, I can well understand why you would think that a 41-year-old man was a young hippie, but that's neither here nor there.
I bet you've got a convertible and a surfboard hanging out the back. I bet you do.
No, sir, it's a Woody with a surfboard hanging out the back.
Too.
On drugs?
Are you on drugs, sir? I bet you use marijuana and all this kind of stuff. I bet you live a very loose lifestyle.
What kind of a lifestyle?
A very loose lifestyle.
Very loose.
I'm listening to you every night, and you've got to remember this, that we might stay here.
Oh, my God! You might stay here?
I might report you. I'm going to report you to the
Trailer Park Association.
I'm going to write management a letter, and you won't like it. You'll be very afraid.
Sir, my name is Lassiter. That's Lassiter, care of the Lassiter Broadcasting Company.
You're in trouble now.
No, sir, I own the station.
You're in trouble now.
No, I own the place. My mother bought it.
And I've heard about the way you talk about our president, and I think it's a disgrace.
Why don't you write him a letter?
I've written him many letters.
Hasn't done you damn bit of good, has it?
I don't like the way you talked about Jim and Tammy Faye Baker. Me and my wife stayed at the resort for 2 weeks, and we had a lovely and various enjoyment time.
Would you park your Airstream there, or just stay in a hotel room there?
We stayed in a hotel room
Figures.
there. And we're going to go back, and I will help support his ministry.
Great.
You have done a disservice.
Could you leave tonight?
God, I have never heard anyone lambaste the ministers and a nation such as this in my entire life, sir.
Well, you're lucky you've heard somebody do it now.
I'm going to write a letter to the manager. I'm going to write a letter
That's
to...
Mrs. Lassiter, Lassiter. That's the manager's name, Mrs. Lassiter.
In the phone book.
That's right, it's in the phone book.
Now you're making me scream, and you're making me scream and holler.
That's one of the things I do best.
Sir, why do you carry on in this manner? This is a very, very outlandish and monstrous tactic you're using.
You got it.
This is not right. Why don't you help the old people? Why don't you help us?
Sir, I'd like to help you out. Which way did you come in?
Sir, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to write you a letter. and you will receive this letter, and you won't like it. I'm going to write more than one letter. I'm going to write the station. I'm going to write the Chamber of Commerce. I, too, will write the Chamber of Commerce, and the Chamber of Commerce will be flooded with letters.
Will you put a lot of kisses at the bottom?
I bet you have a surfboard, don't you? I bet you wear short cut-off jeans and sandals and beads and probably wear sunglasses all the time. And I bet you haven't shaved in 3 months.
It's closer to 3 years, sir.
Last time you had a shave.
About 3 years ago.
Are you married or are you living in sin?
Little of each.
You continue to outrage us.
Well, thank you.
You continue to tell the whole world, the whole public here, that you're living in sin, that's monstrous. I give 10% of pay to the PTL Club, and I will continue to write to PTL.
Oh, Jim's living in sin.
And I am going
to send me 10% too?
I am going to write a letter to the PTL Club and tell them what you've been saying about them. And you may hear from the PTL Club.
Sir, we've tried to get them on the show before. They won't come on.
You're in trouble now. You're in trouble now.
Well, sir, I guess I'll just have to wax up my board and go with the flow, you know?
I'm going to stay here. I'm going to call the police.
We're all in trouble
I'll
now.
call the police on you. I mean it. I'm serious.
Whoa there. You're going to call the police?
I'm threatening you now, sir. You've got me upset. I'll call the police. I swear I'll call the police. Do you want me to call the police on you? You think it's funny? I will call the police.
Do I think it's funny? Do I think it's funny? Are you kidding me?
Be afraid, aren't you?
You pulling my leg?
Sir, I'll lock you up. I'll have you locked up, sir. Look, you can't do this.
That's the greatest call I've ever had in my entire career.
You think that you're
It's probably the greatest call ever to talk radio.
Laughing, you think by laughing that you're showing me that you're not afraid. You're all afraid. I know it.
Oh, God.
I've got
Sir,
5 letters to write, sir.
5 letters now. Oh, my goodness. You got a busy night ahead of you.
I'm going to start right now.
Okay.
Have a bad night. Hippie.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have just witnessed the greatest call ever made to a talk radio station any place in the world.